he'll be making his way around, I'm sure, at some point to say hi to everybody. I get anxiety, so just bear with me, and hence the reason for Hux. He's my personal service dog for PTSD, anxiety, things like that. Kelver's Canine Comfort Corps is a new nonprofit. We will be applying for 501c3. It is in honor of my father-in-law, but what the goal is we're a nonprofit focused on serving veterans by providing them with service and therapy dogs. In exchange, they'll go in to visit other veterans and their families and provide support during end-of-life and hospice care. If a veteran, what we'll do is we hope to give rescue dogs a second chance. Give rescue dogs a second chance by using them. Service dog training can be very difficult. Not all of them are qualified, so we will use puppies as well. If a veteran already has a dog that they're bonded with, we'll assess them and see if they're appropriate for the job as well. We also hope to have mental health staff on call so that we can institute programs, help with their overall mental health. So we really want to focus on all of that. It's important. This is a little bit about, oh, I'm gonna cry.
Okay.
This is the reason why.
Okay.
He was my father-in-law, but he was my father. He was all of ours. He was the very important one. During his passing, my daughter, who also has a service dog, we had him up there the whole time. And he made such a huge difference, not only with our family, but with the staff, with everybody that came in contact. You could see the nurses come in, they're doing their job, they're trying to do all the testing, shutting off the monitors, you know, do what they needed to, and then you'd see them look over at the dog and they'd leave the room with a smile on their face. So that was something that really became evident that, you know, not even just the family, but the staff goes through stressful times with it. The chaplain had come in towards the end and had mentioned how much support we had in the room, and that most families don't have that, and how lucky we were. And then I heard him under the breath even mention about having a fur friend there. So that kind of got me thinking after we got through all of this. There was some life changes that went on with myself, like immediately at that, and opened up the opportunity that I wanted to go back and revisit this. I had thought about it a couple of years ago, didn't get to act on it. Now I could. Fred was a proud Navy veteran, served 2 tours in Vietnam, and died from complications of Agent Orange. The problems that we hope to address are the veterans, the physical and mental needs. It doesn't matter where you serve, how long you serve, majority of them come back with some kind of mental or physical wound. They can show up years later, like Fred's with the Agent Orange. He had lifelong complications going on with it. You know, toxic exposure, missing limbs, hearing, or just PTSD, which leads to the emotional needs. They experience a broad range of emotional, mental, suicidal ideation, PTSD, military sexual trauma. This rate is much higher for active duty than inactive. This last statistic that I read was 1 in 4 veterans will leave with some form of PTSD. And that is something that can impact them the rest of their life. Yeah. The third one is no one left behind. I've heard many stories of veterans that their friends have passed, their family has passed, they kind of are left there with the staff alone. We don't want to do that. You know, one of the military creeds is leave no one behind. Why does that stop once they leave the battlefield? I can't imagine if Fred would have been there by himself. I don't think he would want anybody to be alone during that time. And it's not just the veterans, it's the families that are there that are going through it as well. We need to support them. They've gone through the whole mission while their loved one was away and through the rest of their life. Like I said, some of them come back with disabilities. It affects the entire family, not just the veteran. Our solutions are we're going to provide training to the service dogs for the veterans to address their condition. So for physical, whether it's a limb missing, a emotional, mental PTSD, service dogs are capable of a lot of things that people don't even know. If you're having a seizure or you're unable to move, a dog can literally get under you, roll you over, they can clear your airway out for you. They can go retrieve objects, they can help support balance, they can help with a number of things. He's trained to alert to anxiety, panic attacks, they can alert to seizures, they can alert to cardiac issues. There's lots of things that service dogs can do, and you never know what somebody has. I've had him alert on other people that don't even know what's going on with them. Okay. Therapy dogs. Therapy dogs are different. A service dog is trained to work with one person individually to help with their disability. A therapy dog is trained to work with everybody. So they're the ones that would come in just to make you happy. They're the wagging tails that are going to come in, go up to everybody, want to be friends with everybody. You don't have to be disabled to have a therapy dog come visit you. You don't have to be in need. You can just want to pet a dog. So we want to offer that to people as well. What started that is I had a veteran say, well, what if I don't need a service dog, but I still want to go in and volunteer? Okay, light bulb moment. Therapy dogs. We'll do the therapy dogs. They can still go in and visit and help them. Our other thing is community of support. We want to offer a community where they all come together, they all support each other, they're there for the rest of their life. It's hard to make connections a lot of times when they come back. Testimonials, since the business is new, we just launched in June. We don't have current clients under this yet, but these are some of the dogs that I have trained. I've heard lots of stories how service dogs massively change people's lives. The same with therapy dogs. Our milestones and what we hope to expect. We're going to empower veterans to take control of their own life, feel safe in their own skin, feel safe in public. ADI accreditation, that is kind of the top tier of who approves service dog organizations. You don't have to have it. What ADI accreditation does is it would allow our veterans the freedom to be able to travel overseas more easily. Service dogs in the US may not necessarily be recognized in other countries. So it just kind of is that final thing, and it also allows for a little more grants and funding. In-house counseling. We want to offer mental health work to anybody who needs it, whether it is that veteran's family or the veterans themselves. They may not feel comfortable going out elsewhere. If they know that everybody there is working with the veterans, they may come in. There's a lot of difficulties with the VA clinics, so I've heard, so we want to make it a little more welcoming so that they feel comfortable. Our roadblocks, obviously fundraising. Fundraising is a big thing for nonprofits. We need consistent financial support in order to expand and to keep going. Qualified prospects. I said it's a little difficult to find dogs that work. Maybe 1 in every 4 or 5 dogs is qualified. It takes a lot to be a rock solid candidate for service or therapy work. So that is one of the most difficult things. So it'll be a lot of sourcing, finding puppies, finding rescues, testing them. Our growth plan. My 5-year plan for this is corporate sponsorships. Corporates are able to provide larger amounts as opposed to an individual. That is one of my big goals. There are some facilities that are Purina's veteran service dog organization. Why not have Girly Leaf or wellness brand dog food? I'm open to anything. I will put your patch on every dog that goes out that dang door if you want to help us get those dogs to those people. We also need the funding for training campus. As of now, when we do dogs, they'll have to go into foster homes because we don't have a facility. We do need to have somewhere to house them at night. We can't leave them on the streets, obviously. They can't all come home with me, according to my husband. So we will need foster homes, but a training campus would allow us to provide the largest amount quickly. Training a service dog can take anywhere from 6 months to 2 years, depending on the age, the qualities of the dog, and what exactly we're training for. Nationwide expansion is another thing that I hope for. I hope that we can have locations here on the West Coast, the East Coast, multiple. Veterans are in such need, and service dog training is so underdone. We need more trainers. There's more need. Some waiting lists go 2 years, 5 years. I've heard some that to get a free dog, depending on what their need is, they're waiting 10 years. There's a lot that can happen to that veteran in that time. There is no reason for that when we've got dogs sitting in shelters that could be qualified, that could have the training. Our request to everybody, 90% of what we need is gonna be funding or connections for funding. We need to be able to source the dogs, raise, care, train them, our equipment, a training facility. Our goal is, if the veterans are not local, to be able to pay for them to come in and do education. We want to have a multi-week program, probably 2 to 3 weeks, going over the mental health aspect, because there's a lot of things that go along with the service dog. You get a service dog, it's not just all fun and games. Though you struggle with how to integrate them into your life. You struggle with the attention that you get, the questions that you get asked. That's enough to tip a veteran who's on the brink over the edge. We want to make sure that they know how to deal with their own emotions, their own responses, how to deal with the dog, they need to know how to work with the dog, the training that has been done with the dog. And we want to offer continued care support, whether that is for the first year or two or for the lifetime. If they have veterinary needs that come up that they can't afford, we want to be able to step in and take care of that. If they need dog food for the day or the week, we want to be able to cover that. We want to be able to be there for the lifetime. One of my big things with all of my service dog training clients is, I'm there for the rest of your life. You've got me, you call me in the middle of the night, I'm going to answer the phone. I want to be there for the veterans that entire time. The other 10% of what we need, volunteers. We'll take military, civilian, I don't care. You want to be a body that participates, we will make use of you somehow. Board members, because we're still new, we've had some kind of flaky people that have wanted to participate but then haven't followed through. I'm actively pursuing to file our 501c3. In order to do that, I need some more board members that are not family. And we'll continue to need board members because we hope to expand it, have lots of committees, and I want to make this thing grow and grow quickly. Connections. Anybody that you know, everybody knows a veteran, whether they know it or not. Everybody knows somebody with a mental health issues. We need people. We need the word spread. Basically let everybody know we're out there, this is what we're trying to do. The more people that know, the faster we're gonna grow. We need help with digital presence because I suck at social media. So, somebody to help along with that and help get us going and everything, but we can find that. And then, like I said, because we're new still, the logo's a temporary, the website is a coming soon. I kind of have it all planned. Once that 50C3 goes through, I have names of companies that will do a website for us and do some social media marketing and things, but I have to get to that point. So right now I need people that want to step up and are willing to commit to help. That's it.